Okay, so here we are live once again with another Masters of the Universe Masterverse unboxing, and this is new Eternia Tri-Klops. And I almost opened up something else today because I went out to get some ice cream. I was really feeling like getting a DQ Blizzard, so I went to the mall and got me one. And while I was there, I ran across Earth 2 Robin, and this is a figure I've been looking forward to for a while. But I already said the next figure I would open would be Tri-Klops. So we're going to go ahead and open up Tri-Klops next. But you can bet your bottom dollar that this is going to be the next figure I open. So if you're interested in seeing me open that, make sure you like and subscribe. All that fun YouTube stuff down below. Let's get on with Tri-Klops. All right, so I got this one a while back, and I've been kind of sitting on him for a while, which is another reason why I'm going to go ahead and open him up, even though I really do want to open up that Robin. But he's just going to have to wait. But Tri-Klops, one of my favorite villains in Masters of the Universe. I had the original Tri-Klops when I was a kid, and the mini comic that came with him just set him up as such a cool character in that. He was kind of a little bit more of a mercenary, and he seemed to have a little more in terms of brains than the rest of Skeletor's henchmen, and I kind of felt like he was being set up for good things. But unfortunately, I don't like to talk bad about the Filmation cartoon because I loved the Filmation cartoon. I think all of us in the 80s did. But when Tri-Klops came along in that, he was just kind of like another one of Skeletor's dumb henchmen, and did not have quite the cool factor that he had in that mini comic. He did get paired up with Evil Lyn a lot, which kind of makes sense. I guess it was destiny that I would open him up after I opened up the Evil Lyn figure. I'd meant to even open this figure up yesterday, but I got into this whole thing with Amazon on the phone yesterday over I'd ordered an action figure from Amazon and they sent me the wrong one, so I had them send me a replacement, and they sent me the wrong one again. And let me tell you something, if Amazon sends you the wrong thing twice, they don't want to replace it after that. It's crazy. I'm probably going to do a video talking more about that later because I don't want to talk too much about it here. So you can see that there's the cross-sole artwork, and I've already opened Battle Armor He-Man and Mechanic from this line, and never got around to getting Keldor. I'm just not feeling that design for Keldor. I'm more about the 2000X kind of design for Keldor. So nice picture of Tri-Klops on the back. It looks like he has two different swords, which is cool, and they both can be stored on his backpack. Got a nice portrait of Tri-Klops on the side here with the toy version of the sword, and the main picture of Tri-Klops shows him with the mini comics version of the sword. So let's go ahead and, oh, there's a bio on the back. There's also a bio for Evil Lyn, which I forgot to read last time, so I'm going to read it real quick. Evelyn Morgan sold her soul to the subterranean warrior goddess. She was given powers beyond her dark imagination, changing her forever into Evil Lyn. So Evelyn Morgan, originally in the Bible for the Filmation cartoon, was going to be one of the astronauts, along with Dr. Travis Klops and Biff Beastman that would have been in the ship with Queen Marlena when she came to Earth. So they all would have been Earth astronauts who got transformed on Eternia. So that's where the Evelyn Morgan thing came from. I think that's a goofy origin, so I'm glad Filmation decided not to use it for those characters. Like, I don't mind Marlena being from Earth. I think that's pretty cool, but all four of these guys? Like, really? Whatever. All right, so Tri-Klops, his reads, the Technomancer's latest mechanical masterpiece worked perfectly. Dubbed the Multivisor, Tri-Klops gazed into the paradimension and discovered a new Eternia where the power of Grayskull was up for grabs. So, in the mini comic, Tri-Klops was found by Skeletor while he was fighting a bunch of demons and whisked off to Skeletor's lair, which was not Snake Mountain yet. But and Skeletor he wound up recruiting him to go after He-Man, which I think Tri-Klops more took for the challenge, but he didn't appreciate being interrupted while he was fighting those demons. So here's the more mini-comic accurate sword, and you can see it got a little warped in the package, unfortunately. But hopefully I can fix that with a little bit of heat. And we got this paper envelope with the rest of the accessories in it. And it looks like there should be another version of the visor, 2 solid fists, and this bandolier. So here is the mini comics version of the sword. You can see it's a bit more angular, and it's got kind of vaguely like a 3-eye sort of motif to it. Likewise, the original sword that came with the original toy, you can see that it's got like 3 dots on there, which seem to kind of represent the 3 eyes. Unfortunately, mine looks like it has a little bit of damage to the sword blade. It's got some paint chipping there. I was hoping it was something that was just something that was scratch off, but no, that's where the paint is actually chipping. So this got damaged while it was in the paper envelope with the rest of the toys. Probably, yep, I kind of figured that from when it was rubbing up against the bandolier thing. Since it was that softer rubber, that can sometimes mess up your paint. So here's the other visor. We can figure out which of these visors I like the best. And then 2 solid fists, which you're probably not going to see a lot of use because I've got a character with 2 swords. So that means I'm going to want him to dual wield. All right. And then Tri-Klops himself. There are some rubber tabs holding him into this packaging. So let's go ahead and cut those. There's that one. And looks like there's only one on his right arm and not any on his left arm. So they don't give a crap about his left arm. His left arm can just swing as freely as they want. They don't care. And then he's got a couple of these rubber tabs around each of his boots. And it looks like that's it. There's not one around his waist or anything like that. Let's go ahead and pull him out. Now, I've already covered one Masterverse Tri-Klops figure, if you recall, because I did the Revelation version, and that was a pretty cool figure. And he came with a lot of cult member stuff for like his techno pagan cult, his cult leader stuff, I should say. I've been involved with many cults, both as a leader and as a follower. You have more fun as a follower, but you make more money as a leader. So, all right. So Tri-Klops has a visor, of course, already on him in the package. You can see he's got this long hair hanging out the back. That is very much of a Filmation sort of thing. Tri-Klops did have a little bit of hair hanging out the back of his helmet on the original figure, but not as much as this. The Retro Tinker is here. G'day, mate, yourself. So, how's things going over there on that part of the planet? Always a shame when things get damaged in transit. Yep, it is. And somebody caught my Office reference, so that's good. I don't want people thinking I'm an actual cult member. So, so let's have a look at this visor real quick. He's got one eye that's green, and one eye that's red, and one eye that is blue. Now the original Tri-Klops had one blue eye and one red eye, and then one really red eye, like it was a red iris with whites, and then there was one where just the whole eye was red. And this one, this other visor here, has, as it was in the Filmation cartoon, has a round eye and a square eye and a triangular eye. So if you want more of a Filmation style Tri-Klops, you can swap these out. So let's go ahead and do that so we can see how that works. And I'm probably going to leave this one on here at the end of the day. That's probably going to be the one I'm going to want to keep on there because I like the eyeball shaped eyes. That's just me. But I'm going to pull this whole head off. if you want a more Filmation style version, it is in the package. So there you go. And man, that's in there tight. I actually use my teeth to get it out. So underneath, we can see there's a lot of cool detail with like some circuitry and things like that. And you know, like if you look underneath the visor on the original toy, getting too hot for your liking. Yeah, it's getting cold up here. It's like happy medium. That's what I like. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid and the movie Young Einstein was being released here in America. And Yahoo Serious did a commercial on Nickelodeon or something, and he was talking about how like you know, it's winter in Australia when it's summer in the United States. So it's cool that you can change the eyes. Yes, it is cool. I think it's pretty neat. And you know, some people, I figure, like, you know, if you're a big fan of the Filmation cartoon, it might be preferable for you to have these Filmation eyes on here. But if you're more a fan of the design of the original toy, like I am, then it's cool to have the original toy version. So it's good that we have both versions. So there he is with the square eye, and there he is with the round eye. And this kind of seems to lock into place when you get it on whatever eye you want to, so it doesn't spin freely like the old one. And there's the triangular eye. So yeah, get the. It's a tight fit getting it off on and off, but that's good. You won't have to worry about losing it. But like I said, since I'm more of a fan of the original toy version, we're gonna put those I don't know if round is quite the right word, but you know, it's the eyeball shape. So there we go. You know, I have to use my teeth to get it on and off like some kind of caveman or something. But anyway, there's that. So all the green portions on Tri-Klops are kind of this metallic shade of green that I like quite a bit. He does have this, seem to have the same belt that a lot of these new Eternia figures have. His loincloth, though, you can see it's got almost kind of like a scale mail kind of quality. Yeah, it's like I'm glad that they have the option where you can put the Filmation eyes on there, and I'm sure a lot of fans would like to have those on there, especially if you're a fan of the cartoon specifically. But I like the old toy, so I want to do like the old toy. So, but yeah, and then this part and the wristbands that were orange on the original version, you can see they made those gold. So they did try to, I guess, give it a little bit of verisimilitude as far as like the armor sort of look to it. Whereas with the original one, I think they were willing to just make it whatever color, you know, like a simple kind of color, I guess. So, and then like the original toy, he has black boots, and like with the classics version, they decided to add some green straps to it, so it brings the whole green thing together. Actually, I think it might even be like more of a grayish sort of color, but whatever. It gives it some depth and some texture, so I like that. So let's move on to some of these other accessories. He has this bandolier, and it looks like the bandolier goes over this shoulder with the red eye facing up, and he's just got 3 eyes on the bandolier. It's got a red eye, a green eye, and a gold eye. Maybe more copper, like a metallic orange. And that seems to fit over his armor this way. This was not something that he had in the original toy, but it is something that he had in the mini comic. So with this figure, they've managed to give us accessories that pay homage to both the Filmation cartoon and the mini comic, because he's got the mini comic style sword. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like while he's holding the sword. And there we go. There he is with the comic accurate sword. And then there is the toy accurate sword. And I always like stuff that references the mini comics, because I loved the mini comics so much growing up. But I am glad that they also gave us a sword that matches with the the toy. It's always good to have toy accuracy too. So there's what he looks like, all geared up with both of his swords. And let's go ahead and take those off, and we can put them into the straps on the back. And he's got one strap on his actual armor. And I think that the sword's actually supposed to go over the bandolier. How did they have it pictured on the package? It looks like it goes under. I think it goes under. And then the comic book sword we'll put on the bandolier, since that was something that he had in the mini comic. It seems to make sense to me that you store it that way. So you can store both of the swords on his back. That's really cool. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about his articulation. So Tri-Klops can look up about that far, not too far, because he's got that long hair in the back. It kind of gets in the way. He can look down about that far. He can kind of tilt his head quizzically from side to side, rotate the head all the way around. Arms rotate all the way around the shoulders, and they move up about that far. He does have a bicep swivel, so the bicep rotates all the way around. He got double jointed elbows. That is about the range of articulation you get at the elbows. He's got articulated wrists that rotate all the way around, and the right wrist has a horizontal hinge, so you can move it back like that and forward like that. And same with the left hand. They both rotate the same way. He's got a articulation right underneath his rib cage, so that moves all the way around like that. And then the waist is just a cut joint that turns all the way around. Tri-Klops can kick up that far. He can do the splits, no problem. He's got a thigh cut, so the thigh rotates all the way around. He's got double jointed knees. That's about the range of articulation you get at the knees. It is somewhat hindered by the fur trim at the top of his boots. And speaking of boots, he does have a boot cut, so the boot rotates all the way around. And then he's got the rocker ankles, which toes can point down about that far and point up about that far, rotates all the way up the ankle. So good range of articulation on this guy. It's pretty much what we're used to with Masterverse, pretty standard at this point. So pretty dang cool. So if you picked up already the Revelation version of Tri-Klops, you might be looking at this guy and thinking to yourself, I got this guy covered. I don't really need another Tri-Klops. So if you feel that way, you know, maybe do give him a pass. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think this is a better Tri-Klops than the Revelation version was. And that one was a pretty good figure. I'm not trying to disrespect it, but I think this one brings a little more to the party, as he's got probably got more articulation than I do as well. But yeah, I think he brings a little more to the party as far as like homage to previous versions of the character, which I like. So and it's a less expensive figure too. I don't know, you might be able to get that Tri-Klops figure pretty cheap now. It was, I know, on sale a few places, but now it might be also to the point where, like, it's starting to run dry. But if you're a fan of the mini comic like me, you're definitely going to want to pick this guy up, because he's got the mini comic sword, and he's got the bandolier like the mini comic has. Hey, Sean Franklin, how you doing today? So yeah, he's got a lot to recommend him as far as if you're a fan of the mini comics like I am. He's not exactly 100% a mini comic version of Tri-Klops, but he definitely has like some homage to it. If you wanted to make a good custom of the mini comic version of Tri-Klops, what I would recommend doing is take off this armor, paint the entire torso red underneath. I love He-Man. Yes, Sean Franklin. It's been one of my favorite toy lines since I was a kid. So yeah, I've been collecting these for years. So anytime they do a new line of He-Man, I get excited. So but yeah, take the boots from like a Skeletor or something like that, where it's like that kind of more plain type of boot, like a shin guard kind of thing. Like a Revelation Skeletor would probably be the best thing to do because he's cheap. And paint the boots and the torso red, not just red, but like a kind of a fuchsia, magenta shade of red, and then put the armor and the bandolier back on, and just have them with the mini comic style sword. And I think that would make for a pretty good mini comic version of Tri-Klops. I don't know if I have to myself if I have to go that all out as far as you know, mini comic accuracy. I think this is pretty accurate to the mini comic enough as far as I'm concerned. So he turned out really cool. I'm really happy with him. I'm kind of disappointed with myself that I sat on this figure for so long, honestly, because like I bought him a while back and I just hadn't gotten around to opening him. I think I set him aside and kind of forgot that I had him, and then saw him the other day and I'm like, oh yeah, I still need to open that Tri-Klops. And then I bought the Evil Lynn figure, so I'm like, well, I guess I need to open her too. So, but yeah, that's anyway. I think that's it for Tri-Klops. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. All the fun YouTube stuff down below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Tri-Klops, both the character in general and this figure specifically. I will be back. Today's Saturday. Sometime next week, I will be back, and it might be if I'm not too tired, it might be really early on Monday morning, maybe really early on Tuesday morning, maybe sometime Tuesday after. I don't know yet, but definitely the next figure I want to open is this guy, the Earth 2 Robin. I'm really excited about. So that's definitely gonna. I think it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how he turned out. So yeah, my only really disappointment with him is that this sword got kind of bent up in the package. And it looks like it even got like a little bit of scuffing on the blade too that I didn't notice before. So I don't think they used a very high quality paint for these blades, unfortunately. But he did turn out pretty cool. You know, I always felt like the character in the Masters of the Universe movie, the character of Blade, was kind of loosely based on Tri-Klops. And seeing him here with these two swords, it's like, yeah, he is kind of like Blade, isn't he? Or Blade's kind of like him. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this one. We'll be back sometime next week with Earth 2 Robin, and then I'll have some other cool stuff throughout the rest of the week. We're just gonna have to figure out what. All right, we will talk to you next time. Bye.